Good evening, everyone. I'm Dr. Prathap Kaluthanthri, and my research colleague is Abegunasekara. So, our research study, we are like to present our finding of our study, uh, the study on the potentials for development of tourism activity in Noor area municipal council area. So, before moving to the main discussion, we would like to introduce Noor area, the one of the tourist destination in Sri Lanka. So, Noor area is one of the main tourist destination area where it's not only attracted by Sri Lankan but also attracted by foreigners as well. As since Lonely Planet has been identified as a Sri Lanka is one of the best tourist destination or the top 10 tourist destination in the world. Sri Lanka had the highest level of attention, and Nuwara is one of the main city which has the same attraction. And when it comes to the total tourist arrival to the city of Nuwara, generally the city received around 300, city received around 3 million on average tourist arrival, especially locals as well as foreigners. The highest number of arrivals comes from local tourists, but we have around 500,000 plus foreign visitors as well. The Noor area has one of the main feature, the main feature of the Noor area is the geographical location. It is located in the hill country, which is about 1,800 meters from the mean sea level, which surrounded by the nicely featured hill and the mountain. So the mountain range. So therefore, because of the this mean sea level, location of the mean sea level and the mountain range, Noor area naturally has a cold climatic condition. So that's why the city has been identified as a Little England. From the British colonial time, the city has the uh, city cultivated tea, and because of this, a number of British architectural features still available in Noor area. So with that, Noor area has the highest potential to attract tourists for one way to experience the nature, other way experience the weather condition, other than that experience the British architectural tradition as well as the commercial cultivation. So unfortunately, even though there are a lot of uh, tourist attractions are there, even though we had a 3 million around 3 million tourist arrival per year, Noor area is not harvest its maximum potential. Why is that? Now, if you go through this diagram or the chart, you can see that the highest number of arrival happened in month of April and the month of August. This is mainly because of uh, seasonal activities, especially the main festival feature organized by the City Council of the Noor area, which is called as Pasanta Sanakiri. So this has been featured in April, and a low scale version may happen in August or the December, and each month they they hit around 300,000 arrival. So for a month, city is able to attract 300,000. But after that, the other months generally had an arrival of 50,000 to 100,000, where city is not in a position to attract tourists during this off season. But on the other hand, since the city's economic activities are very much focused on cultivation and the tourism activities, if the city is able to attract more and more tourists during the off-season period, that means rest of the 10 months, the city can thrive with other tourist cities in Sri Lanka, where the the infrastructure, the economic condition, and the social level of the citizen might also increase. So therefore, our study is very much focused on uh, study on what are the potential available for city for tourist development activity. To realization of this objective, the realization of this objective support for the city council and the policymakers to develop city in that nature. So before moving to the main discussion, I would like to then highlight literature on uh, destination tourism as well as tourism cities. So I kindly invite Dulanjali Abegunasekara for to complete to discuss the literature review.
Thank you, sir. As in already said, through this research, we are mainly focused how to develop tourism activity in Norelli area by introducing new potential activities. So before identify the potential activities for tourism development, we need to know who is tourist or traveler. For that, according to SLTDA, they give definition for the traveler as a person who take a trip to the main destination for the purpose of business, leisure, or other personal. So among the purposes in related to the other research, we are mainly focused about the leisure activities. So this leisure activity development will be in increase the tourist arrival for this area with related to that. Then the SLAHEC 2019 article says tourism is a broader discipline and consists with three components of tourist, service providers, and places. Nuvareli is consists with many unique natural places and uh, people already know what are the places located within the Nuvareli area and they visit that places in the year. But the tourism activity is not sufficient for the area. So through this research, we cover these all three components and the three components coming under the tourism. And then 2009 article says new event organization also will helpful to increase the tourism within the area and it will increase the destination image also. Already our area has a tourist destination image, but by amplifying new event with the supportive partners, we can increase the tourism development within the area and increase the higher income among the tourism. Apart from that, some of articles ensure the suppliers who are involved with the tourism, known as key, key stakeholders, because they are support for the uh, new event organization and the tourist arrival. So based with that, the data collection to this research done with these stakeholders and go through this research presentation, you can take brief idea about the entire research.
Thank you, Dulanjali. Now I'd like to focus on our research methodology. So it is a qualitative in nature, where our population we define as a tourist service provider. So the study focused on the tourist development, tourist service providers perspective, where we interview tourist service providers. So the all stakeholders related to the tourist service providers who located within the rural area city limit identified as our population. And out of that, we select the 18 respondents based on convenience sampling technique and the interview done using the semi-structured questionnaire as a primary data collection tool, and further to that, certain secondary data also reviewed. So the data analysis method is content analysis. And so let's move into discussion. So as per the interview, we found that even though the Vasanta Sarakali is identified as the main tourist attraction of the festival of the Nuwara city, only 20% of the hoteliers are connected with the Vasanta Sanakilya directly. So the rest of the hoteliers are just indirect participants or the indirect beneficiaries of the Vasanta Sanakilya. So that means it's not identified as a holistic the event where all the hoteliers are benefited. So just it's go for the main tourist hotels only, around 20% of the hoteliers. And but the balance 80% of the hoteliers may have their own ideas how to do the how to develop the city as a tourist destination. And these hoteliers noted that there should be a program for every weekend to attract tourists to his city. So instead of having a on the 1 month at very focused event, they propose that better to have a monthly or the weekly event where the managed by the certain hotel. So this help to distribute the tourist within the city, within the all these hoteliers, and it's been give a win-win situation to the city as well as the hoteliers. And if we can identify the weekly basis tourism activities or the tourist activities, and if we can publish the calendar for that, that help to the certain tourist group to decide when when they can visit to the city, where it minimize the congestion of the city as well. So where we have distributed tourist arrival plan. And they also, these hoteliers, especially the hoteliers who I work as the respondent, we have the other respondent like UDA representatives, policymakers, the tourist development authority people, and the engineers from the local authority. They focus that it is better to first introduce cultural celebration activities as a festival events. So the cultural activities, so the idea is that cultural events should be raised or upgraded as a festival activities for the city. So the carnivals, commemorations, religious events can be uh, upgraded as a events of the city. So the event management is very much recommended. And since the majority of the people are Tamil, around total 56% of the total population are Tamils, the proposal are from better to organize whale festivals, which celebrate the Lord Skanda's victory over the demons, and also honor its scared triton. So, single and Tamil New Year, Thai Pongal, those events, those religious activity can be raised or the upgraded as a religious festival. So this attract number of tourists who even foreigners who want to experience the Tamil culture can be a true potential for work as a true potential for this. And next best option proposed by the respondents are sports festival. The sports festival may have a two version. One is uh, which focus on the Norelia race course, and other one is a water sports which focused on the Lake Gregory. Uh, so the sports festival, which might include amateur as well as a professional and spectator participant, even as well as a game for fun. So you can organize amateur events, and you can organize professional amateur or the professional and the participants events for the fun. So the professional events can be very much focused on the race course event, and also if a tourist or the participants want to or the spectator want to participate as for a fun, that also give a true potential to the Norelia. So in that sense, right now there are 5 race course at the uh, course include the Independence Cup in February, Governors Cup, Queens Cup, and Swanwick Cup in April, Browns Cup in August. But if you can have a proper plan and introduce the participant race course activity or race activities that help to attract tourists. This is the idea of the respondent. And not only that, the more next, it's include primary. The focus is on the primary level is the Lake Gregory. This should include many activities such as jet skiing, uh, swanboat, and may also uh, houseboat. So if you can promote all three in integrated manner, that helps to the portray Noor area as a water sport city as well. And not only that, in addition, around the lake, there should be a cycling path, walking path, other activities for kids such as pony rides and bouncer should be promoted. So the respondent noted that if we can have a joint integrated activities on this around the Lake Gregory, especially on the weekends, this help to or even local tourists to visit Noor area for these fun related activities. And finally, there's another idea from the respondent. They highlighted that there should be a nightlife activities to the city. This should include street food areas, especially the Tamil food, Sinhala food, and Chinese and all other type of different food versions where street food arena should be developed and food court at Kagiswata, as well as development of high-end shopping malls or square with helipad definitely promote the city as a uh, nightlife city. And even from the urban development authority side, they also propose that other than to the whatever the main activities proposed by the respondent, UDA proposed that tourism road development project, nature corridor development project, Lake Gregory development project, and race course development project. So the idea is the integrated development of the road development, nature corridors, Gregory Lake, as well as the race course, which highlight the city as one of the main fun-loving city within the area. And other than that, respondent noted that nature trails, especially integrated development with the Piduru Talagala mountain range, become one of the tourist potential attraction. Further to this, Ragala single tree temple, the Lovers Leaf waterfall should be developed as a tourist attraction. So to conclude our study, respondents' argument is that Noor area cannot be considered as a seasonal city, just focused on April, August, or December. The Noor area should be developed as a around the year destination where this help to people to visit city and any day. And the study identified and recommended that potential activities that can be implemented within the area, which supposed to ensure year-round calendar, which ensure the highest level of tourism to the city. It has been recognized that environmental, social, and cultural dimension of the event impact have been neglected. For a cultural perspective, there are a lot of opportunity for Noor area and recommended festivalization to describe how Noor area exploited as a cultural and sport destination. Thank you.